My name is Carlos Persual. I'm an attorney and partner with Cantor and Pintaluga. We are a personal injury and property damage firm based out of South Florida with offices throughout the whole state of Florida and also among several other states across the country. Over the past 2 decades, Cantor and Pintaluga has been involved with the Broward County community. That's why we're very happy and proud to be associated and involved with such a great organization like the Broward County Bar Association. On behalf of Howard Cantor, Eric Pintaluga, the whole firm, we want to express our deepest gratitude to the Broward County Bar Association for allowing us to serve as a sponsor for this year's Behind the Gavel event. We're happy to join in celebrating and recognizing our esteemed Hispanic Broward County DCA and county judges. Their dedication to justice, service to the community is something truly inspiring, and it's events like these that allow us to recognize such esteemed individuals that are part of our community. So thank you, Braulio. Thank you, the Broward County Bar Association, for everything that you guys do, not only in hosting events like this one, but everything that you guys do throughout the community.
Good evening. I'm Michelle Harper, the proud president of the Broward County Hispanic Bar Association, and it's my honor to welcome you to the 6th annual Behind the Gavel event. If you guys could start taking your seats and making your way over, there's plenty of room here on the side and to the right. Tonight we celebrate and honor our distinguished Hispanic District Court of Appeals judges and exceptional Hispanic judges of Broward County. For 35 years, the Broward County Hispanic Bar Association has been dedicated to serving the Hispanic legal community in Broward County. We work to promote diversity, inclusivity, and excellence within the legal profession. This event holds special significance as it takes place during Hispanic Heritage Month, a time dedicated to recognizing and celebrating the rich culture, history, and countless contributions of the Hispanic community. Hispanic Heritage Month is about honoring our roots, reflecting on the values that shape us, and celebrating the diversity and strength we bring to every profession, including the judiciary. This evening, we gather to celebrate the achievements, leadership, and dedication of our Hispanic judges. These distinguished individuals not only embody the highest standards of justice, but also inspire and uplift our community through their examples. As we recognize their contributions, it's important to acknowledge the strength and the strong partnerships that we make throughout our process. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Braulio Rosa and the team of the Broward County Bar Association for their invaluable collaboration in making this event a success for the 6th consecutive year in a row. They have gone above and beyond. Yes. They have gone above and beyond to ensure every aspect of this evening is thoughtfully managed, and the Broward County Hispanic Bar Association is truly honored and fortunate to have such a supportive friend in them. I would also like to thank you all for being here to join us in this celebration. Let's take this opportunity to honor those who continue to pave the way for future generations within the legal profession. Please enjoy the evening.
All right, thank you, Madam President. This is that part of the show where it's not fun, but these are the people who paid to make these things happen. So it's important to recognize our sponsors, and so I'm going to go through that, and then I'm going to have a couple surprises. So first, I want to thank the offices of Jibril S. Hindi, who is our title sponsor. Thank you, sir. I thought I saw him. Thank you very much, sir. The law offices of Diana Santa Maria, PA, 6 years going commemorative coin. Thank you, Diana. NSU Law is our venue sponsor. Thank you, Dean Beto Juarez and Karen Rose, for all of your help on this program. Schwartzreich and Associates, PA, is our patron sponsor. And I'll run through these. Juan Carlos Arias, longtime supporter. Andrew Alatowski, mediation. Charowski, Clary, Sauji, Epstein. Velasquez Dolan Soler, Casa Smile Pediatric Dentistry, and Carla Lowry. Now we'll make a quick run through our annual sponsors that we have to dip into all that to pay for this too. Conrad Shear, law firm Sites, Haggard Law Firm, Kelly Ustall, Cash Now, Cohen Blast Law, Tripp Scott. And we have First Horizon Bank, Weiss, Sirota, Healthman, Coleman, Bierman, Horizon Legal Solutions, Florida Lawyers Mutual Insurance Company, Merritt Hawk Hamroff, Keller Landsberg, Ferrer Group, Momentito, Fisk and Company, almost done, Claims Investigation Agency, U.S. Legal Support, Quackenbush Law Firm, Upchurch Watson Montero Mediation, Pierce Bespoke, D'Agostino Law Group, CopyScan Technologies, Construction Consulting Associates, Milestone Reporting, Halitzer Pettis, Concilio, Leap, the Elsley Group, I saw Rick, InfoTrack, Injury Firm, King Lindsay, Mediation Works, Oshro, and Quest Workspace. Okay, now I'm going to take just another moment. Aaron, where are you? Can you bring up the title sponsor? Mr. Hindi, come on up. I want to thank you for supporting us. You want to come up here too? Thank you very much. Thank you for your support. All right, and this one is for Diana Santamaria. We made a special little award for her for 6 years of being loyal and supportive to this program. Diana, please come on up. All right. And with that, well, is Karen Rose around? Mitchie, come up here, quick. Karen, come on up here. These are people that just make stuff happen, and without them, if you don't recognize them, you can't just take, you got to give a little. Karen Rose is a mensch. This is a woman that everything I came to, she said, I'm going to make it happen. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to make it, and she made it happen. So we just want to express our appreciation. Mitchie went and got her some flowers. You want to present her? That's you, Mitchie. Go up. Go take the picture. Go take the picture. Up there. Go take the picture. Thank you, Karen Rose. Okay, and now, I wish this was a little closer. Jeez. The invocation by the Honorable Lorena Masarigo.
Good evening. Dear Lord, we ask of you today to guide us in our discussions and our decisions. Help us to do what is best for all parties involved. We ask for your wisdom and grace so we may see the truth and listen with open hearts and open minds. I ask that you lead us and guide us to support and encourage each other in whatever our path is in this world. Please make us comprehend that the various talents and successes we have achieved should be passed down to our next generation and to those following in our paths. We thank you, God. Thank you.
And now the Honorable Frank Ledet will lead us in the pledge. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our host, Dean Jose Roberto Beto Juarez.
Buenas noches a todas y todos. Es un verdadero gusto para mí poder darles una breve bienvenida a la Facultad de Derecho de Nova Southeastern University. Welcome one and all. We are really delighted to be able to host for a second year this incredible gathering. One of the things that I think is really special about South Florida in general, but I'm going to focus on Broward County in particular, is that it is a place that is incredibly diverse. And tonight's audience reflects that. It is a place where people of many different backgrounds are able to come together. I have the honor of serving as the dean at Nova Southeastern University Shepherd Broad College of Law, and often I am introduced as the first Hispanic dean of this law school, and that's wonderful to be able to say that. But I often say that it's a bit sad that I am the first. There should have been others before me, and one of the special things about this evening is that we get to recognize the pioneers in this group who led the way for the rest of us, but also the many judges, the many Hispanic judges in particular of Broward County, who compose such an important part of this critical group. As a law school, we are dedicated to serving the community, and we are really happy every time we are able to bring together our students and our faculty and our staff with those of you who are out there actually doing things in the real world, which is what our students all hope to be doing very, very soon. So I want to thank you for braving the rain and for being here as part of this very important event. And I want to encourage you to come back. Many of you in the audience are our alums. I give you a special welcome. For those of you who are not our alums, one of the things I love about my job is that I regularly talk, it's happened this evening, I regularly talk to people who say, well, I'm not your alum, but I just think the law school is awesome and your graduates are incredible. Yes, that is absolutely the case. We absolutely love every single one of you, and we want to see you here at the law school regularly. We are dedicated to engaging with our community, and in particular with engaging with the legal profession. So welcome all. I look forward to celebrating with all of you tonight.
And now the Honorable Elaine Carbucia. Who? Okay, I was going to say, I saw you earlier.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to be here at the 6th annual Behind the Gavel, and I'd like to introduce some of our dignitaries. First, Brenda Foreman, Clerk of Courts, the Honorable Michael Robinson and Mary Robinson, Lorena Mastorigo. I said it right, Mastorigo. Okay. George Ordom, Gary M. Farmer, Lauren Alperstein, Deborah Carpenter-Toy, Kathleen McCarthy, Kevin Tynan, Chris Brown, Melinda Mindy Brown, Peter M. Weinstein, Jackie Powell, Carolisa Phillips, Kenneth Gottlieb, Jose Izquierdo, Catalina Avalos, Bernard Bober, Elaine Carbucia, that's me, Marina Garcia Wood, David Hames, Tom Lynch, Frank Leday, Olga Levine, Jessica Mara, Carlos Rebollo, Albert Rivas, Carlos Rodriguez, Francis Villamontes, Lucy Ramos Miller, Robert Lee, Robert Diaz, Linda Gonzalez, and from the 4th DCA, Judge Ed Artois, from the 3rd DCA, Monica Gordo, from the 3rd DCA, Ivan Fernandez, and Chief Judge Jack Tudor. Thank you all.
And for this evening, we will have our administrative judge, the Honorable Carol Lisa Phillips, who will do a welcome from the 17th.
Good evening, everyone. It's a great day for the 17th Judicial Circuit. It really is. On behalf of everyone within the 17th Judicial Circuit, Florida's second largest circuit in the state, and Chief Judge Tudor, we would like to welcome and thank everyone for attending this 6th annual Behind the Gavel event, honoring and celebrating our Hispanic appellate judges from the 3rd and 4th DCA, our Broward County Circuit and County judges, and general magistrates. We would also like to thank the Broward County Bar Association and the Broward County Hispanic Bar Association for creating and organizing this event. Thank you for your hard work and countless hours. And thank you to all the sponsors who make these wonderful events possible. To the 22 appellate, circuit, and county judges and general magistrates, we congratulate all of you and thank you for your service and contributions to our great state of Florida and our country. I would like to also take a moment to recognize our retiring judges, Judge Lee and Judge Diaz, for all their years of service, hard work, and dedication for all of us in the 17th and all the citizens of Broward County. Thank you both for your commitment, involvement in the community and state, and your willingness to always share your wealth of knowledge with all of us. We appreciate you. I appreciate you and your friendship, and we will all miss you. And I would be remiss if I didn't give a huge shout out to our very own 17th Judicial Circuit Judge Jose Izquierdo. Just this evening, he had a huge win tonight. He is now the circuit representative to the Judicial Qualifications Committee. That's a huge commitment. Thank you so much, Judge Izquierdo. You know, Hispanic Heritage History Month celebrates and honors a lifetime of hard work, family, faith, pride, and possibility, or I would rather say probability. It is proof that there is nothing we cannot do when we do it together. So thank you, and I hope you enjoy the evening.
And now, Mr. Aaron Gibson.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron Gibson. I was asked to give some historical remarks about this event. This event started in 2019 when I was the president of the Broward County Hispanic Bar Association at the behest of one of our wonderful judges who made a suggestion to us, Judge Carlos Rebollo, who said, hey, let's do an event for Hispanic judges. Here we are 6 years later. Of great note, it is a bittersweet day because we are losing two of our wonderful judges, Judge Lee and Judge Diaz. But I want you all to focus on one of the reasons that we started this event was not only to capture, honor, and recognize the great work that our Hispanic judges do here in Broward, but also to increase the number of Hispanic judges that we have here in Broward County. For those of you who don't know, Broward County is 1/3 Hispanic, and of the 90 judges that we have, if you take a look right now at your little pamphlet, and you count how many there are now down there, there are 19. When we started this event 6 years ago, there was only 9 faces down here. So from 9 to 19, it's a huge increase. Clearly, it is something we can all be proud of, but with 90 judges, the sweet spot to get to 1/3, which represents our county, would be 30. So the same invitation that we've given every year, we give again. If you are a Hispanic judge or a Hispanic lawyer or a Hispanic law student who knows someone who is qualified and wants to become a judge, please come see the board at the Hispanic Bar and the board at the Broward County Bar Association so that we can help them along their way. And I know Judge Carol Lisa Phillips already mentioned Judge Jose Izquierdo, but I was instructed by one of the judges to mention that there's only 2 circuit court judges in the entire state that get one of those 2 spots, and now we have one here in Judge Jose Izquierdo. So another round of applause for him. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. And so now I would invite our District Court of Appeal judges to come on up. And Mitchie, come on over, and we'll start our, we'll have some fun, a little Q&A. I got one.
I thought everybody.
You got to turn it on. Yeah.
Where's the on?
Right here. Toma.
I thought everyone would be wearing guayaberas. Why is it just me?
So the way we're going to do this is Mitchie and I will bounce back and forth. We'll ask a question. Each judge can answer that question, give us a full but not Tolstoyan-like answer. And we'll have fun with it. There'll be some stuff hopefully you'll learn about them, and we'll end it with a funny question. All right, so Madam President, why don't you kick it off?
Thank you, Braulio. Well, we're honored to have you guys here as our guests. I do want to mention that this is the first time I've ever interviewed judges before, but I grew up watching a lot of Cristina, Don Francisco, Primer Impacto, so I feel like I'm as qualified as anyone else here to take on this role. So let's dive right in. As a first-generation Cuban American coming from a Hispanic family, I was constantly inspired by the stories of my parents and my grandparents. Their experiences as immigrants shaped my understanding of the law's power to transform people's lives. It was their example of perseverance that motivated me to pursue a career in law. With that in mind, I'd love to hear about your experiences and how your Hispanic heritage has shaped your path to the bench.
Well, my parents had left. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
My parents had left Cuba in 1962, and so I was born into a Cuban American household that primarily spoke Spanish, and so my first language was really Spanish, despite the fact that I was born here. And a lot of the English that I had to learn is television, Sesame Street, Electric Company. I'm trying to remember some of those shows, but
Brady Bunch.
yeah. I do remember. I think my mother says that I was quite motivated because I already knew the alphabet by the time I got to kindergarten. I think so. Probably Sesame Street. So we can attribute it all to that. But I did grow up in a sort of rich traditional household with a rich history of having to flee from a country that had lost all of its rights. And so the law was the first thing that I think I knew, because the law is what enforces those type of rights. And when the law is gone and it cannot enforce those rights anymore, and you don't have a system or a constitution that protects those rights, then that's what happens. And so hearing the stories of the violations of what we take for granted as First Amendment rights and the right to protest and the right to speak, just the basic human rights that just lacked, that stopped existing in a totalitarian system, I think, gravitated towards the law. So that's how my Hispanic heritage, I think, really shaped who I am today.
Judge Fernandez?
My story is a little different. So my parents came over in 1962 as well, but I came with them. I was 9 years old at the time. So they were both very hardworking. My father worked at a hotel in North Miami Beach, and my mother was a seamstress, and she taught people how to sew at home. So I was pretty much left to fend for myself most of the time. I was a juvenile delinquent, sort of, but not really. Never got arrested for it. Never in juvenile court.
He was good at it.
But okay, well, I'll go with that.
He was evasive.
So when I graduated high school, I joined the Army because I saw nothing but bad news ahead for me. So I figured the Army was going to help me fix myself. And I went in the Army. They gave me a test. They said, "We want to make you a military policeman." I started laughing. I couldn't believe that that's what they wanted. But they did that, and I was on MP for the next 3.5 years. I left the Army and joined the City of Miami Police Department. All of this as a result of sort of like, I would say kind of like a vapid childhood. I mean, it was really kind of like a big fluff. Didn't really have a clear direction. So I was with the City of Miami Police Department for 17.5 years. I rose to the rank of major within 9 years in the police department. Retired when I was 42 years old. I had already gone to law school. I went to law school before that. I was already a lawyer for 3 years before I retired. And it went from there. I had always wanted to be a lawyer when I was a kid, but I figured I'd never have the opportunity. But found it there, and the next thing you knew, I was running for judge in the 11th Circuit. That was 2002. I was elected and served on the circuit court for the next 8.5 years in criminal, family, civil. Thankfully, I never did, and juvenile, with juvenile delinquents, and never handled probate, thank goodness. But and then Governor Scott appointed me to the District Court of Appeal in 2011. It's been 13 years that I've just flown. So, sort of, that's how I got here from wherever I was when I was a young child.
Judge Gordo?
Thank you. So mine is a little bit more like Judge Artau, but I was born here. My mom fled Cuba, and she had to leave with her brother because her parents weren't able to leave at the same time. And I grew up really affected by the fact she never saw her parents for 7 to 8 years and my grandparents would remind me of this every day, which is really funny if you think about our current situation in the country, that, they sent their daughter and son ahead because they were legally allowed to leave. And if they were going to flee to a country, they wanted to come legally and do it right. So my entire heritage informed me about following the law because my whole family's view of the world was you have to be a country of laws. So when I was here, I was raised pretty much by my grandparents because my mom was working 3 jobs to help my dad, get through medical school and do all these things that they wanted to do. And my parents were very hardworking people, so I would say that informed who I am too. I love to work, and I have a very big passion for what I do. But I would say that my passion for what I do came a lot from my background, which was hearing the stories, with my grandfather of how he went from living a wonderful life and, attending to my great-grandfather's farms and having a wonderful life to then all of a sudden this movement to all of a sudden losing all of their freedoms. So he would regularly give me information about the Constitution is just a piece of paper. The difference is in the United States you have separation of powers, and that's what preserves this country. You have to know about your rights. Don't let the government take your rights. So I think I was like in 5th grade, and I took my first government class, and I was like yelling at the professor. And I was very passionate about government and how never let the government into your life in that way, and that you have to protect your constitutional rights. And my professor said, you know, you're supposed to go to law school. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go to law school. I want to make a lot of money. Of course, I ended up in public service my whole life. So now come full circle, you know, I'll say I ended up going to law school and taking every class except criminal law. I took corporations, tax 1, tax 2, what's this called? Everything you can think of, even defamation I took. I did not take criminal law. And my 3rd year, I thought, well, I'll take litigation skills just for the purpose that if I end up being a corporate in-house counsel, I'm going to have to oversee litigation. And I don't know what goes on in a courtroom. And then I had a professor that was in AUSA, and she said, what are you doing after law school? And I said, I'm going to get an MBA and maybe an LLM because I love to study. And she said, no, you have to become a prosecutor. And I got very lucky because she kept forcing me to go meet with a friend of hers who happened to be like the second to the state attorney in Dade. And I ended up doing an internship whereby I tried a murder trial. Which I was the first in the office to ever try a first-degree murder trial, as second chair, and do an opening and do stuff like that. And I got an offer, and I was there about 12 years, and I was lucky enough to work with one of your wonderful Broward judges side by side in his gang strike force unit. He recruited me to be his homicide gang strike force prosecutor. And I was there about 12 years, and then one day, even though I hadn't wanted to be a judge ever, I went into a courtroom, and I was helping some young state attorney that was trying to get a judge to rule following the law on a very settled thing. And I stepped in, and I said, Judge, you know, I know they're arguing this, but there's case law in point, and this is, you know, well settled. It's binding case law. There's not really a question. And he said, okay, well, appeal me. How about I'm not going to rule that way? I was running for judge really quickly thereafter, and not against him. I found an open seat. I became a judge, and I served in the circuit court for 8 years, and then I went on to the District Court of Appeal, appointed by Governor DeSantis in 2019. And this was my chief judge and my mentor on the court, so one of my favorite people.
Thank you, Your Honors.
I'll buy lunch tomorrow.
So was there a particular person that inspired you to pursue your career in law, or was there a moment that kind of like, boom, like you knew you wanted to be a lawyer? We'll start with Judge Fernandez to mix it up.
Well, like I said, I wanted to be a lawyer when I was a young child. But so while I was in the police department, there were a couple of other police officers who had gone to law school. And it was they who actually inspired me to go ahead and apply. And there was only one school that I could attend, and that was the University of Miami, because they had a night program. And I was a major in charge of a district, 240 cops working for me. I could only go at night. So I had to make sure that my LSAT was in good shape so that I could get into UM, and I did that. And they're the ones who kind of pushed me in that direction. It was either that, you know, I was retiring at 42 years of age, so it was either that, be a lawyer, or go on what I call the police chief circuit, be police chief in several little departments, and I thought being a lawyer was better, so they're the ones who actually pushed me in that direction.
I guess I would attribute it to my grandparents, particularly both of them, but my grandmother in particular, really motivated me to study and pursue, you know, some sort of career. I don't think she specifically suggested it had to be law related, but that she definitely motivated me and was there guiding me to make sure that I was doing what I needed to do in school, and that I was pursuing some sort of career in order to improve my life. You know, and I remember, you know, she passed away my last year in college and never made it to my college graduation. So I went to her gravesite with my cap and gown on, you know, and really dedicated that to her. So I would say that would be the most significant person. But I mean, of course, you know, teachers along the way that have always been, you know, helpful in steering you in the right direction. I had gone to undergrad here at Nova, and so a lot of professors at the Nova undergrad were significant. This institution here, this university here is significant to me. And then I went to Georgetown Law School, which was also very significant in my legal education, and I learned a lot there.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge?
So I don't have a particular person, but one of the other questions you had on there, so I'm going to kind of pivot. I'm going to do like our current vice president likes to do, answer the questions she wants to answer, but I think it's a good, that wasn't a job. I think she's brilliant, but I say it because it's true. Sometimes you get a question and you're like, I want to answer a funny other question from your, you asked, would you give any advice to young people about mentors that you've had? So I didn't have a particular person that I would say spurred me to be a lawyer. In fact, my dad was a doctor, and he really doesn't like lawyers, and he was very, very annoyed that his 2 adult children were becoming lawyers. So I was definitely not encouraged to become a lawyer. And I happened to be a lawyer that was good at math, and he didn't understand the whole concept of me wanting to be a lawyer. But I was very lucky along the way, I feel like, in my schooling and in my friendships and throughout my life, that I had incredible mentors everywhere I went. I mean, just the fact that like my teacher pulled me out of class to say, what are you doing next year? You need to be a prosecutor. She changed my life in essence. That was so random, right? And she was a professor of lit skills, and she had probably 20 students that semester. And I wasn't particularly friendly, or I mean, I came to class and did my work, but I wasn't hanging out talking to her. So my whole career, I've been really lucky to have mentors. This is another mentor, and I'm not just saying that. When I was a young state attorney, I think I was a division chief about 4 years in. I had just come back from maternity leave of having my first son. He had just become a circuit court trial judge in the felony division, and I was assigned to be his division chief. And he was an incredible judge to present in front of, but he was also a great mentor. And like that, I had so many people in my life. I think that I try now, and for many years I've tried to mentor as many younger people as I can, but if I could say to the younger lawyers in the room, find good mentors everywhere you go. Try to network. Look at people that inspire you, that you think have traits that you want to emulate. Find good ones and become their friend. Find out how they got to where they got, because that's really helped me in my career. And even now when I'm going through a hard time, I seek out my mentors and ask them, you know, how would you deal with this? And it helps. It gives you a different perspective. So.
Thank you. That's actually a great segue to the next question. But so some legal careers are built on strong professional networks. Unfortunately, many Hispanic students may not have the same access to influential networks or familiar connections within the legal industry as some of their peers. This was certainly something that I encountered as a first-generation Cuban American going to law school in Michigan. My dad was a mechanic. My grandfather was a bodega owner in Cuba. So I didn't come from a family of lawyers. We didn't really have any connections. So I felt like this limited my exposure to job opportunities, mentorship opportunities, internships that are crucial for career advancement, I think. So given your own experience, what challenges, if any, did you face as a Hispanic individual on your path to becoming a judge? And how did you overcome those challenges?
Dale, chico.
I'm asking the tough questions.
Go ahead, Ed.
All right, I'll take it first. Well, I mean, I sort of alluded to it before. I mean, I think the only significant challenge was sort of the transition of you really start as a Spanish speaker, and then you're learning English kind of on your own. You really don't have a network in your own household to learn the English from, because your parents primarily speak Spanish. They're learning English, you know, at a much more difficult rate, because you know they're already adults and they came here with a different language, and so they're challenged to even be able to speak basic English to be able to work in the United States. And you just kind of have to navigate that yourself as you get into kindergarten and grade school and middle school and high school. So you know, I think, and then all that I do now is you know, read and write English, and that's, you know, so you really have to get to a point to really perfect that to be able to write published opinions. So, you know, the challenge of going from that background to perfecting your control of the English, your command of the English language, I think is the most difficult challenge, but it can be overcome with hard work.
Your Honor.
So this was challenges that you faced becoming a judge because of your Hispanic heritage. My biggest challenge, the way I saw it, was not my Hispanic heritage, but my ability to speak Spanish when I was running for office in 2002. When I was in the Army, I was assigned to Belgium for 4 years, 3.5 years. And I had nobody to speak Spanish to over there. When I got back to the US, my Spanish was almost gone. So in the police department, when I became a major, I was put in charge of the substation that serves Little Havana. And they like, the media likes coming to you with these big cameras, putting them in your face, and asking you questions in Spanish. You can't imagine how horrible my Spanish was at that time. But you know, so where in English you might answer a question with maybe half a dozen words, to try to give the same answer in Spanish, it was like a whole paragraph. Because you're sort of explaining where you want to go with your answer. And the same thing happened when I was running for judge in 2002. Miami-Dade County has a huge Hispanic population. And all of the abuelitos and abuelitas want to talk to you in Spanish. And you have to talk to them in Spanish. I mean, you need to be able to communicate with a community whose vote you want. So that was a big challenge. I have never looked at myself as either advantaged or disadvantaged in seeking a position because of my Hispanic heritage. The way I look at it is I think I'm the best person for this job, whether it was in the police department or I was an assistant state attorney as well. I forgot to tell you that earlier. I guess you may think that I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I mean, I have 3 more years to think about it. And then the Constitution says that I have to retire. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, I've always looked at my quest for a particular position as something that I'm best qualified for, no matter who I am, no matter what my name is. And I fight for it hard, whether it be in court as a prosecutor for a particular position or a particular case, or running for office, or looking for a promotion in the police department. That's been my philosophy all of my life, and so far it's worked for me.
I 100% agree with that. Michelle, to your question about, you know, having a grandfather who's a mechanic, or, you know, family who's not in law. My family was not in law. I had nobody in law. I was at, you know, in the middle of UM. There were, believe it or not, at the University of Miami School of Law, there were very few Hispanics when I went to school there. And I never really thought about it, about whether being Hispanic or not. Like, I just tried to go everywhere and do the best job I could do. And ironically, opportunities presented. But I also think for all the students that are around, find your path. Number one, wherever you go, try to be the most qualified person, like Judge Fernandez mentioned, and try to be your best you. But importantly, there are organizations, like I was a young state attorney, and I'm not sure why I sought it out, but I did, and it was not because I wanted to be a judge, because at that time I did not aspire to be a judge at all. I pretty much thought when I was done with public service, I'd go into private practice and do corporate work. I like a lot of things, and I'm very interested in, which is how I went to civil and enjoyed it. I like to learn and do things. So I did not do this because of that, but I ended up running for the board of the Cuban American Bar Association. I was very involved in that. That presented me with a ton of friends who maybe they had grandparents that came sooner than my grandparents, and moms and dads who did get involved in law, and those people became my mentors. And so it was so weird. It was such a strange journey in the sense that I was not purposeful about the connections that I made. I kind of find like there must have been a God up there, like negotiating my future, because I had no idea what I was doing. But I think that all of you can be, the younger generation can be purposeful, because there are all these wonderful organizations like what Braulio is doing here, and support systems so that you can find great mentors that are the top of their, and I would urge you, don't find sure, find a top Hispanic, but don't just look for somebody because they're Hispanic or black or white, or look for the best of whatever it is you're interested in and find them, try to get them to mentor you. Try to emulate that and try to be your best person. But I do think we have great organizations, and that really helped me find my place and my way. To go full circle with that, what ended up happening is when I ended up running for judge, here I was a state attorney, and like the one thing I told my husband is, don't worry, I'm not gonna take your private practice money, our kids' trust funds, and run whatever we raised. And like in 4 months, I raised almost $200,000 without asking for it. And it was not because of it was because of the things I did with the bar, my CABA friends, my husband's friends, our community friends, and it was easy to raise it, because they knew my career, they knew my service, and that sort of just happened, but it happened, I think, because I was around people and I sought out mentors and I had really great people around me, and so it ended up working out.
Thank you, Your Honors. Okay, so looks like we're kind of winding. I think we got time for 2 more questions. I'm going to switch to a fun question, and I'm throwing a curveball a little bit. So if you could get in a time machine and travel back into time, what time would you go to, and who would you have lunch and break bread with? Your Honor, Judge Fernandez.
I would go back to September of 2023 and buy as much NVIDIA as I possibly could. And maybe have lunch with the president of NVIDIA. I don't think that way, and I don't really have anything that I feel that I missed, and I have no regrets. So there's no going back in time for me, except for that. Other than that, just
Lotto ticket or just NVIDIA's good.
I look forward. My father used to get upset with me because I don't dwell on the past. There was a movie called The Gumball Rally years ago where the driver pulled off the mirror and said, "What's behind me doesn't matter." I kind of look at it that way. Just go forward.
Judge Artao?
I would probably, I'm so, I think Abraham Lincoln was such a fascinating historical figure. And so I would love to be able to get in a time machine and go back to when Abraham Lincoln was president and be able to have lunch or dinner with him and really learn so much from such a great man.
Me too. It's a good one. Your Honor.
I thought about saying the Founding Fathers because I am always interested in them, but it would probably be dishonest. I think that for me, I think I'm pretty religious. I would probably want to sit with the Virgin Mary and ask her what it was like to give birth to Christ and to have to watch him die.
Oh, it's a good one, but I get it. Madam President, last question.
Last question. I have a fun question for you too. So people in the past have mentioned that I look like Anne Hathaway from Princess Diaries. I got one time in college that I looked like Penelope Cruz, and that was like the highlight of my life. But so just for fun, if there was a movie about you, what actor or actress would you want to portray you?
I would have Braulio Rosa play me.
Please. Wear a wig. Oh, come on, Judge Fernandez.
I used to have a head full of black hair. Frank, you remember, right? Even when I joined the state attorney's office, I had a pretty good head of hair.
His picture at the third is pretty good. Actually, it's over there.
No, but it looks like this. So my wife says that I look a lot like Jack Nicholson these days because of the hair, the way that it is. So might as well pick him.
It's a good one. Just not in The Shining.
Whatever. I used to be on the SWAT team. The Shining would be fine.
Your Honor.
I think I'd probably pick somebody that doesn't look like me that I'd like to look like. Giselle what's her name? Giselle, the model? The blonde.
The 6-foot blonde?
Yeah, nothing like me, but that's who I'd pick.
Okay.
Might as well make myself really honored.
Awesome. Well, we're honored to have had you come up here and share your stories with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Carly. Thank you for having us.
We have a little gift for the three of you. Someone's going to have to help me bring those, Mr. Gibson.
Thank you so much for coming. Of course. Really nice.
One for you. Got it?
So we're presenting you with an American flag. I'm a vet, like his honor here. But I think that as judges, you have to follow the Constitution and the rule of law, and it all starts with that piece of paper and this flag. So I thought it was appropriate.
Thank you, I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much, I'll be right down.
So that's two of them now.
Ya tiene dos, chief?
Sure.
Why don't you get them all together in the...
Monica, back to back.
We'll get them all, and Mitchie, come on in.
Try not to drop.
Look at that handsome picture, huh?
Wow.
Here, you guys. Let me, I'll get right here.
Now I know why you wanted me to send you a picture.
I'm telling you, Mitchie. Okay.
I don't have to work out now.
All right, and so now we are going to do the presentations of coins for our Broward County judges, round 6, sixth year. So we're going to ask them to come up here. I need our committee to come up. Members, yeah, come up to present those coins. And then we'll have the Broward County judges divided up on each side because we're going to play Jeopardy. And Judge Izquierdo helped us put together this great PowerPoint that actually works pretty well. So, you guys come on up. Present them up here, please. All right, your honors, our home team. Kelly, make sure you get some pics on this. Here, me vas así, cha. Yeah, be able to. Yeah, you could, well, they're all coming from there, but you'll have to sit. But come get your coin. So come on up and get your coin. What's up, Al? You good, bro? Thanks. Gallbladder removal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not this Thursday, the Thursday before.
Okay.
So this
You okay?
is my first time I'm out.
All right, well, you look
Yeah.
good, considering.
That's why I'm dressed como un guajiro.
All right, I'm gonna try to hide in the back.
All right. All right, so now. So, no, not these. You guys sit in those or in these over here. We're going to have them. And if you'll bear with me, audience, I'm going to switch this out to the Jeopardy. You could take either mic. Make sure the judges have one. So Mario Lopez and Jacqueline O'Connor will be running this, and Andy Demos will be running the PowerPoint. So make sure the judges have a mic. So they could answer. You have an extra mic here. This is for the judges that pass and answer them. You want to just throw?
Yeah, you don't like. All right. Judge Villamar.
Alrighty, we're going to play Jeopardy with our Broward judges for Hispanic Heritage Month. All right? Go to the screen.
Here, Andy, I got you.
Okay, yeah.
I got you.
Gotta go to the next slide. You guys start.
You want me to start? Did you press the...
Where's Izquierdo?
Canada.
Right, just press the. It's the next one.
Go ahead, next one.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, so today's categories are Latin terms. First, Broward County, local judges, Friends Edition, land foods and entertainment. Your Honor, what do you pick? It's your team against those.
What do we want? And we will take 200 for Latin foods.
200 for land foods. Ceviche is considered this country's national dish.
Where's Peru?
What is
Peru? Yes.
Correct.
Woohoo! Okay, great. Now it's your turn. Judge, which category would you like?
Local Judges Friends Edition 200.
Okay, local judges, Friends Edition. The judge that walked down the courtroom with his fancy shoes.
Jose Izquierdo.
Who is? Yeah.
Who is Jose Izquierdo?
Okay, correct.
I know
you got
who
your
he is.
200
That's why I didn't
points.
say that.
Back to you, Mario.
All righty. Your Honor. Okay, next one. Yep. Yes, me llamo Francis.
All right, let's go with Latin foods for 1,000.
Oh. Cuba's famous old clothes.
What is ropa vieja?
Correct.
Okay, Judge, you're next. What category would you like?
All right. Latin terms for 1,000.
Okay, Latin terms for 1,000.
One, you did 400.
You can just click this one. Latin terms for 1,000.
For 1,000. For 1,000. Yeah.
The question drops or the case is closed.
What's that?
You chose the hard one.
Yeah, I did. Caso cerrado. What is caso cerrado?
No, what is cadit costio?
Cadit quasi. It's Latin, so.
Latin.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah, not
Latin
not
terms.
Spanish.
Oh.
Yeah, Latin
Not
terms.
Spanish.
Yeah, sorry.
Latin, I
You
thought
actually got it
Spanish.
for
You guys are judges. You're supposed to know all the Latin terms. You'll be ready for the next one.
Not Latino, that's hilarious. Oh, my turn.
Judge Mora?
Okay, on that note, we are going to go next with Latin food for 1,000.
The spotted rooster can be found in both Nicaragua and Costa Rica. It's a $1,000 question.
I'm going with it. What is gallo pinto?
Correct.
Oh, that was all you.
Okay, this is your chance for a comeback. Judge, pick your category.
I'm going to pay entertainment for 200.
Okay, entertainment for 200. Television show where Cuban musician married to a redhead.
What is I Love Lucy? My favorite show.
Correct.
But it's only 200.
That's a good one.
All right.
Okay.
Judge Izquierdo?
We're going to go with Latin food for 800.
Yeah. Pupusas are this country's spin on tortillas. Tick tock, tick tock.
El Salvador. What is El Salvador?
Correct.
Okay, Judge.
Broward County for 1,000.
Please Broward County for 1,000? Okay. 1,000, yeah. Name of the 2024-2025 president-elect of the Broward County Bar Association.
What is Aaron Gibson?
Correct.
You are correct, I believe.
All right, what do you guys want to pick? Okay, we're going to pick 600 Latin food.
Land foods for 600.
I'm not picking Latin terms.
the winning country of the Nacatamal versus Mofongo challenge, if you remember when that happened.
Well, no, it's not a country, it's an island.
Remember, it's one of those two countries.
Yeah. Where there's not we just went to one. All right. What is the Dominican Republic? Go ahead.
What is Nicaragua?
Nicaragua.
Okay, Judge, you're up.
So let's do 1,000 for first.
Okay, firsts for 1,000. Yeah. First Argentinian judge in Broward County.
Lorena Mastriago.
What is Lorena Mastriago?
What is?
Yes. Who is? Yes.
Who is?
Thank you.
Judge Lee?
We're going to go for Broward County for 600.
2 retiring musicians. Think really hard as somebody plays the cello, and then the other one.
Judges Lee and Judges Diaz.
There you go. Who are?
Okay, Judge Avalos, your choice.
Okay, 400.
Okay, firsts for 400.
Marina.
Yes. First Hispanic Florida Supreme Court Justice.
Oh, really? Rosemary Barquette or Who is Rosemary Barquette?
Very good. That is correct.
It's who is Justice Barbara Lagoa. We actually looked this up. She was born in Mexico, but she's not Mexican. So, but she is also.
Florida Supreme Court?
We had done some research.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Oh, but I think it was female.
Judge McCarthy?
Okay, local judges for 1,000.
Oh, female.
For 1,000.
Correct that one.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
We were around.
Oh, well, next.
The judge who helped establish the Broward County Hispanic Bar Association. Who is?
Who is Marina Garcia Wood?
Correct.
Okay, what is the next category you choose? Are you- is it-
We'll go
yeah?
local judges for 800.
Okay, local judges for 800.
Friends edition. Friends edition.
Oh, local judges Friends edition for 800. The judge who received the first Florida Jurist Award.
Oh gosh, any idea? Carlos? Rivol? No.
Do we know?
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Who is Judge Carlos Rebolo?
Let's see the answer. Who
Correct.
is Judge Carlos Rebollo? Yes, correct.
I didn't know that.
Well done.
Judge Rebolo.
Where are we going with? Yeah, local judges, Friends edition for 600.
600 on
We had
local
no other
judges.
alternative.
The judge who speaks 5 languages.
He's right next door to me in the 4th floor of the Broward County, the North Wing. It's Frank Leday.
Who is?
Who is Frank Leday?
Great.
Correct.
Okay, and last but not least, who would you like to choose?
Sure. Local judges, Friends edition for 400.
Okay. The judge who competed in the duathlon world championship.
Judge Rebus. Who is Judge Rebus?
Who is
Correct.
Judge Al Rivas? Well done.
Judge Rivas.
Okay, Ariana.
Let's go entertainment for 1,000.
Here we go for it all. Show where you are here, start small. Well, where you were here, start small, dream big. What's the name of that show?
I think it's supposed to be Will here. Here.
All right.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm going to guess. Sesame Street.
Sorry, what is the heights? All right, we're going to do one more question to break the tie. Whoever gets the higher amount.
Okay. What would you like to choose, Judge?
For first, 800 for first.
First for 800. First Colombian-born appointed judge in the United States.
Who is Catalina Avalos?
Who is Judge Catalina Avalos? Well done.
What are we doing first for 600? They're not beating us.
800.
Okay. Broward County, 800. And we think we have more points, by the way.
Name of the 2024-2025 Broward County Hispanic Bar Association president.
Oh. Who is Michi Harper?
Correct. There we go.
Keep going.
I think it's a tie.
It's a tie? Okay. It's a tie. Well done. Thank you to all the
Thank you.
judges.
All right, folks, that was fun, actually. I enjoyed watching that. Give me a moment. We're coming to the close here. Now I got to reopen the... Ay, Dios. I'm going to just fly through these to get back to where we were. All right. So now we're going to do, we're going to recognize our retiring judges, and so I'm going to call up Rafi Katz to present the Honorable Robert Lee with an award of our appreciation and respect for the work that he's done for all these decades.
Judge Lee, I'm honored to present, I guess, can you hear me? I'm honored to present this award to you, Judge Lee. You're a true pillar in the Broward legal community. Judge Lee, the county court judge who really went the extra mile, honestly set the standard, I think, for most of us. His journey to judgeship and now to retirement is honestly extraordinary. I had to go do a little searching to find some of this information out, but raised in Jacksonville by a Mexican mother who instilled in him the deep pride in his Hispanic heritage. He embraced his roots, even though as growing up, I think he said he was the only one who spoke Spanish his entire community that he knew growing up. He broke the barriers, paving the way for diversity and inclusion in the legal field. Judge Lee's dedication to justice and equality was evident from his young age when he started working in his mother's Mexican restaurant in Jacksonville, and that's where he learned the value of hard work. He started out as a teacher, I never knew that, working with special needs kids. He then decided to try his hand at law and attended law school at University of Florida, where, probably not surprisingly to most of us, he was editor of the Law Review. Through his career, Judge Lee has embodied these principles of hard work and equality and dedication, started in commercial litigation, but always made time to provide pro bono legal services in the area of mental health. His commitment to serving the community led to his historic appointment in 1997 as the first openly gay person on the state court bench, not just Broward County, where he has served in every division as an administrative judge and on canvassing boards, which one was, I believe, the Hanging Chad's canvassing board, yeah. And presiding over every division with wisdom and fairness. Having appeared in front of Judge Lee myself many times and tried cases in front of him, it was always an honor, and you always knew if you're a litigant, you better come prepared, because if you go in there, I promise you he read every single piece of paper in that file and probably knows it better than you. So you kept your lawyers on their toes. You did a great job, Judge Lee. You were always, I speak for every lawyer I know who ever spoke about Judge Lee was, he's fair, but he's tough. I think my favorite words, which I use with my children still to this day, is my orders are not suggestions. So, Judge Lee, thank you very much, and I would ask everyone here to help me in honoring Judge Lee as he retires, leaving behind a legacy of courage, compassion, and true leadership, and which will continue to, forgot my words, continue to inspire generations moving forward.
Except in my courtroom, I'm not a person of many words. However, I do want to just thank, I thanked her at lunch today. Many of you know Ali Waldman Bergeron. She was the first person that ever called me up and said, hey, we think you should be a judge. And I had never thought about it before. And she had lunch with me, introduced me to Barbara Miller, and that started the path back in 1995 that led to ultimately my becoming a judge. A funny little story about being tough. The Miami Herald did a story about me many years ago, and the headline was, Judge Lee, a stickler for the law. And they were meant it as an insult. But I thought that's what we were supposed to be doing. So anyway, thank you very much. I'm going to miss everybody, certainly. Thanks.
I'm back. I have the pleasure of giving the award to Judge Robert Diaz. Judge Robert Diaz, a graduate of Nova Law, 1984. Judge Robert Diaz, or Bob Diaz, as he tells his jurors they can call him, has faithfully served the citizens of Broward County since 1992 as a county court judge. Before that, he was an assistant public defender from 1984 to 1992, where he tried over 125 cases in front of juries. In the 32 years that he has served as a judge, he's been actively involved in our entire legal community, not just on the bench, but off the bench. For those 30-plus years, he has taught other judges throughout the state of Florida as a faculty member of the College of Advanced Judicial Studies and at New Judges College. He's also taught numerous lawyers throughout the years as a faculty member of the National Institute of Trial Advocacy, NITA, NITA. Right here at Southeastern University Law School, he has taught future lawyers in trial advocacy class and street law class, which he has also taught for over 30 years. Judge Diaz strongly believes that the street law program that he helped create enhances the public view of the legal profession, and through that program has helped conduct 60 mock trials at the Broward County Courthouse, where over 50,000 students and parents have been exposed to and enriched by our legal system. Judge Diaz has also spoken at dozens upon dozens of middle schools and high schools throughout Broward, even teaching minors about the legal system. For 24 years, Judge Diaz has hosted his annual Hispanic Law Student Luncheon, where law students meet and network with lawyers and judges and tell stories of similar experiences, being the children of immigrants or the grandchildren, or even being immigrants themselves. Judge Diaz has received numerous awards throughout his career, including the Conference of County Court Judges, the Harvey Ford Award, which is the highest award for service to the community that a judge can receive. He's also received the Adjunct Professor of the Year Award, the Student Achievement Award, or SUI, the Alumni of the Year Award, which was voted on by over 180,000 Nova Law graduates, and even Judge of the Year Award. In election seasons, campaign cycle after campaign cycle, Judge Diaz has always been endorsed by many of the local fraternal orders, political committees, and periodicals of importance in Broward County, including the Police Benevolent Association, the Firefighters Union, even the Sun Sentinel. As an attorney who has personally practiced before Judge Diaz and even conducted jury trials in his courtroom, I can personally tell you that Judge Diaz is everything that lawyers hope for in their judges. He is polite, he is fair, he is learned, and most important to all of us, he lets lawyers try their cases before a jury. We also have to mention his wonderful judicial assistant, Denise Hughes, who, if you've ever met her, knows is one of the sweetest people in the courthouse. So what else can I say about a man, a father, husband, and friend, and judge that his track record has not already said about him? Well, there is the fact that the love that he has for serving as a judge is shadowed only by the love he has for his wife, Diane, and his daughter, Gabriella. Both his rock, both his true joy. He speaks tirelessly of how he would have nothing of value in this world without their love and support. There is no ego in him. There is no pride or arrogance. There is simply a man of humility, kindness, compassion, sincerity, and my favorite part, a warm and gracious smile. And on a side note, he has a wonderful sense of humor. Just ask him. Judge Diaz, we're not going to say goodbye, and we're not going to say that we're going to miss you, because we expect and we demand to still see you around this community for many years to come. Judge Diaz, may God continue to bless you and your family as you begin the next chapter of your life. Please accept this on behalf of the Broward County Bar Association and Broward County Hispanic Bar Association.
Very nice.
Let's take a picture.
I don't know about the humility he's talking about. I don't think I have any of that. I do know that I owe a lot to this school. They gave me an education that allowed me to have a great career. I've got my wife and daughter who have allowed me to be a husband and a father, and they stuck by me all the time. I love doing what I do. I love being out in the community. I love teaching at New Judges College. I'm going to really miss that because I got to play a crazy lawyer in a courtroom trying to make a judge lose their temper, which is like the most fun thing you can do. And then after you sit down there and tell them and said, hey, listen, you can't scream at me like that. That's not good as a judge. I'm going to really miss that. I've heard they're discontinuing that program or reviving something, but it'll never be the same. But I love coming to this school. I love young law students. I love undergrad students, middle school students, high school students. I always wanted to teach them that the law is a very, very important thing. And if they follow the law, they'll be okay. If they don't follow the law, find a good lawyer. So that's what I was. I was a public defender for 8 years. I tried some horrific cases where, you know, I didn't believe my client, and I was hoping he would go to jail too. But I took my oath as an attorney as very, very important, and I fought for them just like I would for anybody else. And that's what I try and instill in every law student. No matter what you feel inside, you need to fight for your client. And that is the most important thing. When I became a judge, I was the first Hispanic in Broward County, and now look at us all. It's really, really great. But when I was the first one and I put my name in, they said, oh, you're not going to win. You're a Hispanic. How do you think you can win in Broward County with that name? And I just looked at him and said, I don't know. My parents told me I could do anything I wanted. So I just worked hard, and with a lot of luck, the harder I worked, the luckier I got. I won the first time. And then, of course, they said to me, oh, well, you know, you're just a token. And I said, well, I'm just going to be the best judge ever, and you're never going to be able to say that about me. So that's what I tried to do. My wife, Diane, and my daughter, Gabriella, let me do it. That's what's important. They always supported me. My nickname is Blunt Bob. I'm sorry if I've hurt your feelings in court, but I say what I think. If you're not prepared, I'm going to tell you. If you're not doing a good job, I'll tell you. And if you're a defendant, I'll let you go for a little while, but if you go overboard, I'm going to stop you. But that's what being a judge is. You have to take human emotions. Nothing is ever black or white in court. Nothing. Everything is gray. So every day I go in and I try to figure out, what do I have to do here? How do I fix this? How do I deal with this? How do I deal with all these people? And you know what? When you're in the people business like we are, you just learn that people are always going to be people, and you have to deal with them. And if you're a lawyer, just remember your clients expect you to do everything you can for them, but you're just a person too. So just do the best you can. I will teach at this law school when I leave. I hope they never throw me out. I want to encourage more people to go to law school. I want to encourage people to do everything that they can to help people in their lives, because that's what I'm going to do when I leave. I'm going to take a Pilates class, which my daughter says I'm crazy for doing. I'm going to learn how to take photographs so I can get half as good as her. I'm going to teach here. I'm going to ride my bicycle because I need to exercise. But I love my career, and I love what I did, and I'm very proud of it.
All right, so I'm gonna try. Should I try a different? All right, this. So our programs. All right, so our programs come to an end, but I just wanted to thank the countless people, in my brain is dead right now, that helped put this program together. You know, you just see me and a couple people up here, but there's a lot of people behind the scenes doing a lot of work, and I recently went through something, so I couldn't do a lot of lifting and stuff, and there's a lot of people helping, so I want to thank them for everything. And October 9th, we will be having our statewide program, our jurist program, that we Zoom around the state, but we do it at the Bar Center, and so there will be a surprise as to who will be our jurist in Broward, and you know, Dade will be joining us, Orlando, so there'll be multiple counties in it, so please join us in that program. And 6 years going. God bless. It's amazing. Everyone have a wonderful evening.